This story has everything: Bravo TV, Jeffrey Epstein, and Russian spies. So let's go to the board. So, yes, I did put Andy Cohen's name on the board, but no, he didn't email with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein actually responded Andy Cohen to an email from a redacted name. So technically he's in the emails, and some people do think he looks like Andy Cohen. Like, that's kind of odd, but there's no implications of any crimes as of February 2026. Whitney Sudler Smith of Southern Charm did email with Jeffrey, and one of the things he said was he was looking for Russian girls to be the stars of a reality show that he was producing or putting together. And I thought that was interesting because there were some very interesting Russian girls in Jeffrey's orbit at the time. One of those names would be Mila Antonova. Now, Mila Antonova met Jeffrey Epstein in 2013. She was introduced to him through Boris Nikolic. Boris Nikolic worked for Bill Gates at the time, that he was being kind of courted by Jeffrey Epstein. And that's when Steve Gold of $1 Million Listing shows up in the email. Summer of 2013, Steve Gold reaches out to Jeffrey Epstein via LinkedIn and asks if he can grab lunch with Jeffrey because this is the kind of guy he really looks up to. Mind you, Jeffrey Epstein had been arrested maybe 5 years prior for assaulting children. And Boris Nikolic isn't just some random guy. He's a professor that taught people how to not only do transplants, but to keep transplanted organs alive until they get from the donor to the transplant. He also introduced Bill Gates to Mila Antonova, who now Bill Gates has admitted to having an affair with, who was a Russian bridge player who was used as a pawn in Jeffrey Epstein trying to extort money from Bill Gates. But Mila Antonova was also very good friends with Anna Chapman. Anna Chapman was a sleeper cell Russian spy who got taken down around 2010 when Boris and Jeffrey started becoming close. And before Anna got busted and deported, she worked in real estate. I think I read somewhere that she might have sold a property to Boris, but I can't confirm it now. Forget everything else going on at Bravo. A show about sleeper cell Russian spies would have gone over like gangbusters. That would have been real reality TV. Anyways, there are more connections to Jeffrey in the Bravo sphere, Caroline Stanbury being one of them. She dated ex-Prince Andrew and definitely was on his island. One of her friends came forward and said she met Jeffrey at the island. Then there's Annabelle Nielsen, who was emailing with Jeffrey, and it's very clear that she was procuring girls for him. By the tone of the emails, the things she was offering to him, it was very obvious that that's what was happening. And Annabelle did take her life in 2018. And of course, Caroline Stanbury and Annabelle Nielsen were connected because they were both on the show Ladies of London, even though Caroline Stanbury did move over to Real Housewives of Dubai later. And then we have Leah Black of Real Housewives of Miami, who was emailing with Jeffrey. Now, Leah was married to Roy Black, who was the attorney who got Jeffrey Epstein his sweetheart deal in 2008. Actress Denise Richards, who later went on to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, was mentioned in the emails, but she herself was not emailing with anyone as far as we can tell now. But Denise Richards was mentioned in an email to Ghislaine Maxwell as a wish list person from a redacted name. So they wanted to either get her or someone who looks like her. Gross. And then there's Carol Radziwill of Real Housewives of New York. I've actually made a few videos about her connections with Ghislaine Maxwell because Carol's story has changed over the years. Now, apparently Prince Andrew, or former Prince Andrew, was set up on a date with Carol. And then there are emails that show that Ghislaine and Jeffrey had FedEx packages sent to Carol's home. Ghislaine took the photo of Carol for her book jacket. There was a framed photo of Carol in Ghislaine's home, and there are tons of photos of the two of them out at events. Now, the proof is definitely in the pudding. We know that they had a relationship, even though Carol tends to deny it. And that's the Bravo and Jeffrey board. Questions, comments, please comment below.